Welcome back to the greatest live show of all time. That is right, everybody. Now, today we're going to be talking about the Dream allegations and more specifically, his response to the allegations. Now, about a day ago, as of recording this, Dream uploaded a video called The Truth. As of right now, it has 3.5 million views, 274,000 likes, and 166,000 dislikes. So, it's being received very well, clearly. Now, for those of you who are new here that are watching the past live stream / VOD, whether or not you're watching this as a podcast or video or whatever, I always make sure to include timestamps in the description after the fact. So if you want to skip around for whatever wacky reason, you're more than welcome to do so. That being said, we have a lot of stuff to go through. So I don't want to just sit here and, I don't know, waffle on, as British people like to say. So why don't we just get started, shall we? Let me just put my headphones on. Hello, your voice sounds so good. Why, thank you, and I appreciate that. But yes, hello, Ghost of Man, Hoopty Scoopty, and Ronnie Briggs, and welcome to the stream. But yeah, I decided, you know what? I felt like streaming today, so I may as well do that. So the video we're going to be watching is obviously from Dream, called The Truth, and yeah, I haven't seen it. Let's see what this is all about.
In this video, I'm going to be very vulnerable, open, and honest. I go into my past, I go into controversies, and I also debunk very serious lies about me, including by involving the police, legal teams, and extensive research. It will get uncomfortable. I will get into details of my life that you probably don't want to hear, and I don't particularly want to share either, but it feels necessary given the circumstances, and honesty
I'm so excited.
and truth is my top priority. As you guys have probably noticed, I took a long break from YouTube, and since the face reveal, I've hardly really uploaded. And I've really focused on other things and separated myself from a lot of the stuff I was doing before. You may think that this was due to the hate from the face reveal, or for other reasons, but really there was something else that happened right after the face reveal.
Oh, no worries. He was just posting thirst traps on TikTok in the meantime, of course.
And it really made me step back from what I was doing and have a lot less passion. If you've been on the internet recently, you've probably heard or seen some pretty crazy stuff about me. Whether it's the voice actor of Gumball attacking me, or
Yeah, the voice call of Gumball is a fucking loser, I'm not gonna lie.
accusations against me regarding grooming, you've probably heard a lot of pretty crazy stuff. I thought it's extremely important for me to make this video and provide as much information as I can. And I just want to right off the bat state as clearly as I can that these allegations are not true.
Well, that's about what I expected. I hope he hires an astrophysicist to disprove the allegations, because we all know that that works wonderfully. All jokes aside, I don't think that there's enough evidence to make me feel comfortable painting Dream as like a groomer. I just think he's a fucking loser, right? Like, I don't think that somebody being a weird loser automatically makes them a groomer. I know, crazy. It's almost like there's a difference between the two things, as in, one is something that makes you worthy of being made fun of a little. The other is you should go to prison. I think we know which one is which.
Plan on going to extreme detail to prove that in this video. And to all the people that are spreading lies, fabricating stories, and making false accusations for fun or because they think it's funny.
I don't care. I've accepted I'm a horrible person.
This is not funny. This is not a joke. This is people's lives, ranging from my own, my family, my employees, to actual victims that stories won't be heard or believed in the future because of this.
Which is interesting, because this is a point that I was making on a previous live stream where I was talking about the Dream stuff, where it's like, oh, so basically what we're doing here is we're taking everything that random people on the internet say at face value because it's about somebody that we don't like collectively, and just assuming that it's correct. When in reality, some of these people come out afterwards and are like, oh, haha, it was just a funny troll. What do you think that does for actual victims, other than make them look less credible when they tell their stories? And that was sort of the point I was making.
I understand that some things in this video are much more important than others, so I split this video up into chapters, and you can skip to and watch the parts that are most important to you. I will say that everything in this video is very relevant. I think they're all vital topics to include because they help clear up my character. So yeah, the video has chapters, and if you want to skip around, there's a pinned comment. And again, I realize that nothing in this video is as important as me talking about serious allegations, so I've made it really easy to skip ahead to whatever is most important to you. Just because there's other stuff doesn't mean anything is less important. Monetization.
So let's look at the different chapters. So it starts with the face leak photo, the speedrun cheating scandal. Of course he talks about that. Housing an abuser. I don't know anything about that. Posting thirst traps. I do know about that. Again, that's an example of him being a weirdo, but not a PDF file. Why he uses Snapchat. Dream being weird. Okay, I agree he's weird, but again, that doesn't mean he's a groomer. Weird pictures. The first allegation. Why ever respond to a fan. Statement from the person who ran my Snapchat. Oh boy. Amanda. Who is that? Pre-face reveal living situation. The police... oops, I did not mean to skip ahead. The police station. What happened after. Gumball vs. Dream. I know about that. Uber driver interview. Mayhem. Doxing is serious. Dream did what? Moaning allegations. We already covered that. Statement from the person in the DMs. Burner account summary. Dream calling the police. Statement from, quote, the victim, end quote. Dream admitted it was him. False accusations everywhere. Leaking XQC and Pokemon's private messages. Oh boy. And conclusion. Isn't the voice of Gumball a kid? No. Maybe he was when he did the voice, but not anymore. He's an adult. So, yeah.
They help clear up my character. So yeah, the video has chapters, and if you want to skip around, there's a pinned comment. And again, I realize that nothing in this video is as important as me talking about serious allegations, so I've made it really easy to skip ahead to whatever is most important to you. Just because there's other stuff doesn't mean anything is less important. Monetization on this video is on, but every dollar will go to a charity that's linked in the description. Otherwise,
okay, that's good, I guess.
I want to start with the biggest lie I have ever told. The face leak photo was me. Of course, it's from when I was really young, and I've lost a lot of weight since then, and it wasn't at all representative of what I look like now, but it was me. Obviously, I said many times that it wasn't, and a lot of people have and still do use that against me to say that
I literally don't care.
I'm dishonest. But the reason I lied about that is because of the face reveal. I'd been planning the face reveal for years. I sacrificed so much.
Yeah, like, again, this is an example of Dream being fucking cringe. It's like, oh, wow, I'm gonna do this crazy face reveal. It's like, nobody gives a shit. I'm sorry. It was the most underwhelming shit imaginable. That being said, I don't think that lying about whether or not somebody doxing you got the right information is the same thing as lying about, I don't know, grooming. Though if Dream did groom, I'm sure he would hire a fucking astrophysicist to prove that he didn't.
Much by staying inside and avoiding cameras for so long. I mean, I had covers on all my windows, and even to go to the dentist, I left hiding in the back of a car and went to a different state. Yes, I was paranoid. I wasn't going to let anyone take that moment away from me. Whatever
I think that that's fair. Even if his face reveal was cringe.
Had to do to make sure that moment was suspenseful and exciting, I'm sure I would have done.
It was not suspenseful or exciting. Again, it was fucking cringe and underwhelming. Like, I'm sorry, you just look like a normal dude. Like, that's not like a bad thing. You just look like a normal person. Like, I don't know.
And if anything, the face leak photo probably ended up creating more suspense and excitement to see if I was lying or if I actually looked like the leaked picture. Now, of course, there was a lot of personal information attached to the leaked picture, how it was found, where it was leaked from. So that definitely contributed to why I lied about it. I didn't lie because I was ugly or because I was overweight or anything like that. And every time I talked about the leaked picture, I always mentioned that I struggled with my weight in the past and that it's disheartening to see people make fun of the poor kid for that, which obviously I was the poor kid. And I think
yeah,
that's something I'm willing to admit now because I face revealed. I'm not risking that big moment anymore. And I also feel much more comfortable about my personal information and how I look. And
so which one is it? Did you care about how you looked or did you not care? You gotta make up your mind, Mr. Dream.
So on. The day the face leak was posted, I was playing a Minecraft tournament and someone called the SWAT team on me.
Dream is AFK. I'm clear here.
Also, that's fucked up. You shouldn't be swatting people.
I was put in handcuffs on my front lawn with cops with rifles pointing at me, and I was pretty much swatted from that day on almost daily, to the point where the reason Sapnap moved in with me before my face reveal.
Okay, how does that happen daily? Like, I don't disbelieve him, but normally if you're like a large YouTuber, what you'll do is you'll tell whatever your local police and whatnot, and you'll call them and be like, hey, by the way, if this happens, just know I'm like a public figure on the internet. I have millions of subscribers, and some people have my address, so before you send in a SWAT team, just, you know, verify with me to make sure. Yeah, you get the point. That's what I've heard. I've never done that because thankfully I've never had that issue. But by the way, Femi, I love how smooth your skin is. Why, thank you. I can't believe Dream would admit to his huge docs being real. Yeah, literally.
Was to answer the door when police showed up because people started camping outside with cameras to try and reveal my face, and I needed someone else to answer the door. When the people that were doxing me thought that they had the wrong address, my family ended up getting swatted, and my mom answered the door thinking that it was pizza for her and my little sister. They were held at gunpoint with police helicopters circling the neighborhood. People showed up at my house. People showed up at my family's house. The first time I ever got swatted,
Which under no circumstances is okay.
I made sure not to mention it at all. Funnily enough, I actually got interviewed by a SWAT team member while I was muted and playing Minecraft parkour with the SWAT officer right next to me. But yeah, it's just all to show that even though I was very adamant about denying the face leak, it was much more about the fact that there was so much personal information attached to the picture, and I wanted as much separation from it as possible. It had nothing to do with how I look. I'm very proud of it.
Which I think is a fair thing. Like, if you lie about your docs or whatever, that's fine. Like, oh, somebody lied to fucking protect themselves from a dox being used against them. Oh god, the horror. I don't think I've heard anyone use that as a reason for why Dream is a liar, but if somebody was, then fuck them, I guess.
My weight loss story, and I was never ashamed about it at all. I think that it's very encouraging to see people accomplish weight loss. I did it all naturally. I lost hundreds of pounds. You have not seen me at my heaviest, and it's one of those things that I think is very encouraging to others. I love inspiring people, so it's a story I'm sure I'll tell in the future. But in that moment,
also, I'm fucking freezing. I'm gonna put a hoodie on while this plays.
It was not the right time to tell it. I feel like right now it's still kind of uncomfortable to talk about it, but it's annoying seeing the same damn picture. So here's some other pictures of me from before I lost weight, just so there's more variety.
Oh, wow, he's got the neck beard in that last one.
Now moving on to one of the most talked about controversies, the cheating scandal. I'm going to be pretty concise with this one because it's been covered a million times and most of you are probably pretty sick of hearing about it, but it's still really important to talk about. It's one of the most frequent reasons people point to as to why not to trust me. I did unintentionally cheat on a speedrun that I officially submitted to the leaderboards in 2020.
So right off the bat, if you're gonna fucking say, oh yeah, no, this is what people are using to say that they don't trust me, and then you go on to just say, oh yeah, no, I was accidentally closet cheating, you immediately take away credibility. You immediately remove credibility from yourself. So, not a good look, Mr. Dream. Not a good look. But let's continue.
And the speedrun mods were completely in the right for taking it down. I was using a disallowed mod for about a week on my live streams when a new version of Minecraft came out, and I was unaware that this mod existed. When I was defending myself, I didn't.
Really? That's why you hired a fucking astrophysicist to lie. Because if you hired an astrophysicist to tell the truth, then you would have hired them to do the math, and then they would have come back to you, and they would have been like, oh, hey, by the way, this is not a good look, Mr. Dream. It looks like there might have been something wrong with your game. So, again,
know that I'd been using the mod, and it's a really complicated and lengthy explanation of how it's very reasonable that I didn't know that I had the mod. So
oh yeah, it's so reasonable.
I can't go into that here. A lot of people say that it's impossible that I wouldn't have known that I was so lucky.
Well, it's impossible to know that you didn't fucking install a goddamn mod on Minecraft. Like, what are you talking about?
But those people don't realize that it was a little bit of luck over a very long period of time and not a lot of luck at once. It was actually
yeah, it was only a little bit of luck. Okay.
Only uncovered by a cheater themselves, who later got exposed for doing that.
This is whataboutism. I don't care that the other person was a cheater. Like, this is supposed to be a video where you address the fucking grooming allegations, and you're trying to make yourself look credible here. So what do? You go on to say, oh, I was only cheating by accident, and then fucking hired an astrophysicist to lie. But guys, the person that called me out was also cheating. I don't give a shit.
Same thing in the past.
Yes, that's right, Minecravenger, the very same person that first publicly exposed Dream for cheating in his runs, has just been caught cheating himself. And not only cheating once, but cheating multiple world records over a span of more than 2 years.
Yeah, that's bad, but it's not nearly as bad as grooming allegations. I think you should shut the fuck up about speedrunning and, I don't know. I feel like he would be more credible if he was like, you know what, this is way more important than speedrunning. Yeah, I closet cheated. Yeah, that was wrong for me to do. I was just getting frustrated with the RNG. in 1.16, so I started messing with the RNG. I admit it, it was wrong, and I never intend on doing that again. So, if that makes you trust me less, then so be it, but I'm going to be as honest as I can in this video. If he had just said that, I would be way more likely to believe whatever he says next. So, again, I'm not saying I've seen substantial evidence of him being a groomer, but this doesn't make him look good. If I'm a normal viewer, I will have assumed that he's a groomer by now. But because I'm charitable and just because somebody makes themselves look bad because they're an idiot doesn't automatically mean I'm going to label them as a groomer. That doesn't mean that everybody else is going to be as charitable. So it makes sense that the I don't know, the like to dislike ratio is, well, not very promising. Let's continue.
I was defending myself so confidently publicly because me and a
This is why he made timestamps in his video. I know, but still. He's using this as a reason for why he's credible, but it makes him look not very credible.
developer had already considered and ruled out the possibility that I could have been using a mod. Carl Jobst, a very well-respected YouTuber that also investigates speedruns, made a video going into all the details. It's over an hour long. If you'd like to watch it to understand how that could happen and all the supporting evidence around it, you can. He is very critical of me in it, but here's his short conclusion that backs up what I'm saying from after his thorough investigation.
In conjunction with all of the evidence I've seen, I believe the essence of what Dream was claiming in his paste bin was probably true. In my opinion, it is definitely more likely that he really didn't know his drop rates and barter rates were modified. Was it intentional? And I do believe that it probably wasn't.
He did a lot of research and interviewed a lot of people to come to that conclusion.
I don't know. I'd have to see that.
He interviewed the mod team, me, developers, and a lot more. He even said something afterwards that applies to
All
a lot
right,
of situations
you know what? This
today.
is
So I'm gonna go ahead
fucking
and play that clip
boring.
too.
In one
All right,
The next thing I'm going to talk about is a pretty big one that you might not have heard about, but it's a pretty important one. Manatread. Now, if you don't know who Manatread is a content creator that I added to my server, the LiveStream, a couple years ago. They were anonymous like me, and they had a very short career. There was a thread made about Manatread saying that they doxed him and that he was an IRL friend of mine, had been charged with domestic violence, and that I was trying to hide it. Manatread was removed from the SMP by me. All of his accounts were deleted, and I made a statement talking about how I don't support domestic violence. I wasn't aware of any domestic violence, and that due to how complicated the situation was, I decided to remove Manatread from the SMP. I also
All right, I think that that's fair enough. It seems like Dream is in the right here. At the end of the day, if you don't know that somebody's an abuser, and you go on to remove them as soon as you find out, I think that that's perfectly fine. FemboyKali has passed you in subs? No, he hasn't. That's bullshit.
strongly alluded to the fact that the doxed information was incorrect. Everything I just said was true, except for the fact that Manatread was my childhood best friend. I came up with the name Manatread, I made the accounts, I grew up with him, his grandparents were like my grandparents, he was like family to me. The criticism I get to this day related to this is that I intentionally housed and hid an abuser. Because Manatread was
Yeah, I don't think that there's any evidence of that. I'd have to see evidence before believing that.
Faceless and anonymous like me, people said that it was planned deliberately in order to hide a domestic violence charge. This is not true. In late 2020, he had a lot of problems. He was struggling with homelessness, had been in multiple recent car accidents. I knew I could help him, so I did. I offered him a place to stay, I paid for his groceries and gas for a while, and eventually I came up with the idea to add him to my server. He was my childhood friend, I trusted him, and he wasn't a risk.
I think that that's fair enough. Like, if somebody is a bad person and you don't know, or whatever, or maybe you know a little bit, but, you know, I don't know. If, oh shit, what the fuck? Okay, he must have had, I'm guessing he had, oh no, he didn't have a short. What the fuck? How the fuck? Is this the same FemboyKali? Oh, okay, so it was basically just a few shitposts got views. Is this the same person? Yeah, it is. Okay. I don't know how the fuck they got 100k views with content as bad as theirs. It's the same dude. Yeah, what the fuck? Oh, that... interesting. YouTube algorithm be broken. Alright, let's continue the actual drama.
was anonymous, so obviously if I wanted to play games with him, his identity couldn't be known, or it would leak my identity. Whenever the thread first came out saying that Manatread abused his girlfriend, I responded emotionally, calling people gullible, because I didn't believe that someone I had known for so long and grew up with could do anything like that. And at the time, although no one knew, he lived with me in SEPNet, so it seemed crazy that he could somehow hide it from us. I jumped the gun and reacted emotionally. Only later did
Which I think is a fair thing to do. Like, if you're friends with somebody and you don't believe that, oh, okay, yeah, they're actually a terrible, evil person, I can understand why you would think, oh, it's just people making shit up on the internet, right? Like,
I properly look into everything, and I apologize. After I confronted Manatread in real life, he claimed that he wasn't an abuser, that he had just had an altercation with another guy, and that his ex-girlfriend got in the middle of it. He claimed that he never hit her, that he had just caught her cheating and was fighting the guy that she was cheating with, that the cops got called, and that he got arrested. This is just what he said. This altercation would have taken place around a year before he moved in with us, and I had no knowledge.
yeah, I don't even know if that guy is or isn't, like, an actual abuser, or maybe he just got cheated on or some, I don't fucking know.
People thought that domestic violence took place when he lived with us because my address was on a court document of his, but that was far after when he was on probation and had to tell the court where he currently lived. He also lied to us and told us that he was on probation for smoking weed in order to not have us question anything suspicious related to it. Even though he claimed to me that he wasn't abusive to anyone, I couldn't just take him for his word, and so I did research myself.
All right, let's look at posting thirst traps. Posting thirst traps.
Before I jump into the most important things I'm going to address, I want to talk about something that's come up a lot due to these allegations, and something that's commonly said to give credibility to me being a bad or weird person. I'm going to
Well, I think that he's a weird person, but I don't know if that makes him a bad person.
play a clip from Moist Critical, who talked about the allegations pretty neutrally, to his credit. But while talking about them, he said this.
Dream's audience has always been on the younger side of things, and yet Dream constantly engages with them in very inappropriate ways, such as...
Okay, yeah, I already sort of talked about this. I thought that Charlie went a little bit overboard.
like posting thirst traps. He does post thirst traps, even knowing that his fans are children. So when these claims come out, I think a lot of people start to take them at face value because they're like,
Also, Fembro is right. Subs don't really matter. Like, how many people that are subscribed to FemboyKali would watch him live stream? Probably, like, 0.
oh, that sounds like the Dream that I know. You know, this sounds like something Dream might do, so it's probably true. Even though right now a lot of the evidence backing it up isn't the strongest.
Now, before I talk about this, I just want to ask that if you're watching this and you share the same opinion, try and give me the benefit of doubt, genuinely listen to what I have to say, and discard your preconceived biases. Because yeah,
Which is already what I sort of did.
if you think someone's creepy and then they're accused of being a creep, it clearly changes how you think. So I'm going to break...
Yeah, literally, and this was sort of the, this was like the argument that I had brought up, where, when Vosh was talking about the Dream stuff, he literally had the argument of, yeah, well, when Markiplier does it, even though some of his audience is children, Markiplier doesn't come across as creepy or weird. Or, whereas Dream comes across, like, in a bad way. It's like, okay, well, this is entirely vibes-based, right? I don't think we should be basing grooming allegations or anything as serious as that off of vibe checks. I mean, come on. Like, you can just call him weird, call him cringe, and call it a day.
Down multiple things that Charlie said because I respect him. I respect his opinion. I think he's a super reasonable guy, and I think he's an awesome content creator. One of the things that he said is that I post creepy pictures and thirst traps.
He does post thirst traps.
So that's the first thing I'm going to talk about. Uniquely, because I didn't reveal my face until last year, I can actually pretty reasonably show you every photo and video of myself that I've ever posted on the internet. So they're going to start scrolling by now in a completely random order. While you watch, it's important to note that what you post on something like Snapchat is very different than something you'd post on Instagram or Twitter. Snapchat runs ads every 5 or 6 photos and encourages you to post upwards of 100 photos or videos a day to have the most growth and make the most money. They only last 24 hours like an Instagram story. So on Snapchat, you kind of just spam anything. So for me, it's silly filters, my cat, whatever food I'm eating that day, if I get a haircut. Because of that, it's much easier to take one silly photo from Snapchat out of context and make it out to be something that it's not. On top of that, there's a lot of fake accounts that I think people fall for all the time. They post thirst trap captions using my photos, and with how many likes they get, there's a lot of people that casually scroll Twitter and think their posts are mine. There's one specific one that was extremely popular and verified before it was suspended. It posted tweets like this, and this, and this. These are just completely normal photos I posted of myself with no caption, but they repost them and put a weird caption. This has fooled tons of people, including people that have made pretty big videos about me, and I wouldn't...
The fact that people fall for that shit is kind of sad.
Be surprised at all if Charlie saw this account a couple times and thought its tweets were mine. A lot of people also say stuff like this.
I don't know why he still uses Snapchat. It's still kind of weird. I told you, if you're a grown man using Snapchat,
which I think is super reasonable to think. If you don't know that there's creator accounts now that work very differently to normal Snapchat accounts, you can promote stuff to millions of people through Snapchat's algorithm, and even as of recently, you can make a lot of money, obviously encouraging you to post whatever.
I don't care that he uses Snapchat. Let's skip that.
To say that I'm weird. First of all, me calling my fan base kittens. Now, this was a stupid tweet. If I could go back, never would have tweeted it. I completely understand that without knowing my intentions or what I actually
This
meant,
is
it
literally
seemed super
nothing.
weird. The whole Discord kittens meme wasn't as big yet, and I just tweet so much. I just wasn't really thinking. It came out horribly, and I will never live this down. It is still something.
Yeah, this is nothing.
Stuff.
All right, you know what? Let's get to the first allegation, because that obviously, all that shit's not very important. Oh boy, here we go.
Over the last year and a half, there's been a bunch of really serious allegations made against me. Some of them were quickly disproved, others admitted they were lying, but there's still some that I'm going to address in this video. The first allegation made against me was pretty quickly discarded. It was an allegation of flirting and had some inconsistencies. I'm still taking it seriously though and don't want to overlook anything, so I'm going to talk about it now. The first ever allegations against me that were spread pretty far were made the day after my face reveal, on October 3rd, 2022. A girl named Anastasia tweeted out, "He's only face revealing because he's scared that I'll do it first." And then she followed it up by tweeting, "I'm too tired / real life struggling to get involved, but the YouTuber trending right now already face revealed to me years ago when he was flirting with me when I was a minor."
Yeah, obviously, this person's gonna need evidence of that.
Obviously, because of my face reveal, it took off, pointing out inconsistencies, asking questions, and so on. I didn't have any inappropriate contact with this person. I didn't have any sexual contact with this person. I hardly even remember who this person is at all. And the only messages I could even find with this person were friendly Twitter DMs. And even in those Twitter DMs, I mentioned that they had 18 in their bio, which they contradict. I definitely didn't face reveal to them. That's an obvious lie. Almost nobody knew what I looked like at all before my face reveal. Not even most of my best friends that had known me my entire life, let alone someone I don't even remember talking to at all. She posted a screenshot of some texts and claimed that—
Yeah, and based off of their messages, that Dream showed, it looked like Dream was being pretty dry with, like, his messages. Like, it was just, like, whatever, 2 words, and then it was, like, a bunch of messages from the other person. So, I guess here's the messages between them, I guess. But I don't know if this is messages with Dream. I don't know how you would prove that it is without leaking his phone number or something.
they were from me. She showed a screenshot of my TikTok being from your contacts to try and prove that the texts were from me, which people quickly pointed out isn't possible because I have a Google Voice number hooked up to my TikTok, which isn't iMessage like the text. And again, she never claimed any sexual—
Oh shit, okay. That's actually a good piece of evidence from Dream.
misconduct. She never claimed anything related to nudity or sexting. This was also in early 2020, and she had 18 in her bio. With everything and all the inconsistencies, it wasn't taken that seriously. But it's still worth noting because people still somehow say this is one of 3 victims of mine. So yeah, before talking
Okay, so well, it's definitely not 3 then.
about the next allegation, I just want to address something that I think is pretty important. I see some people say, why respond to fans at all? Or that it doesn't matter what Dream said. The fact that he responded to a fan is creepy. And people saying that are missing a little bit of nuance. First of all, back when I started YouTube in 2019, obviously I had a very small community. Even moving into mid-2020, before the Dream SMP. It's very common that when you have a smaller community, you're trying to grow your community. And part of how you do that is by interacting with people and responding.
Yes, this is true. I don't think that there's anything inherently wrong with responding to fans. Like the whole idea of, oh, why would you even talk to a fan? I don't know. Maybe because it'll make them fucking happy and that makes you happy. Like, it doesn't have to be like a weird sexual thing. Like, maybe somebody just found your content helpful in some way, or you've inspired them, or whatever the fuck, and you know for a fact as the content creator that you will make their fucking day if you, as their idol, message them back and tell them to have a good day. I've never understood this idea of you're not allowed to have a friendly conversation with a fan because somehow that's weird or something, which is fucking stupid. But okay.
Responding and being active. I've always been pretty active in my community, and when I was really small, I used to respond to just about literally everyone that DM'd
Yeah, like, that's what I do.
me, even if it was just one-word answers. Obviously,
Yeah,
later on, and
literally.
as I grew, I replied less and less, and things evolved over time with my fan.
Yeah, like, I feel like that goes for any content creator, right? Like, I still respond quite a bit. I respond less than I used to, because guess what? I'm slightly more known than I used to be. So I get too much shit to respond to unless I'm online all day, which, I mean, let's be real, I kind of am, but still.
And base growth. Like, as an example, when I started my public Snapchat in 2019, I ran the account. But in early 2020, because I was growing, I completely passed the reins off to someone else, and pretty much never logged into it.
I disagree. If you are an adult and your fan base are a bunch of children, you shouldn't have private personal convos with fans. What do you mean by personal? Because if it's just a one-on-one conversation that's like brief and about Minecraft and you're just thanking them for their support, I don't see what the issue is. Like, if nothing sexual is said or nothing too personal, I don't really see the issue. I don't know. To me, it just seems like it's something that, okay, is this something I would do? Probably not, because it's bad optics, but do I think it's a huge deal? No, not really. Regardless of intent, it's creepy. Okay, why is it creepy? Other than other people have decided so. Like, if you're literally not talking about anything sexual and you're just having a conversation about Minecraft, I don't see what the issue is. Like, what's the problem?
Do it ever again.
Hi, I would like to remain anonymous, so I'm just going to be calling myself Rebecca. I used to run Dream Snapchat starting in 2020. I did that for probably around a year, and I would like read through all the messages and I'd screenshot art or funny comments, and I would respond when it was appropriate. There is definitely nothing weird going on this account. Dream hardly even logged into it, and it was mainly me. He never used it inappropriately, and although I no longer work for Dream, I am not aware of him ever acting inappropriate with fans or anyone underage.
Most, if not all, of the Snapchats I've posted since then have been through the manager account feature, meaning I use my normal Snapchat and post my other account like a story, without even ever logging in or seeing any messages. I think that when people talk about messaging or becoming friends with a fan, most people are thinking of a stan or a super obsessive fan, because what makes you a fan? Having watched 1 video, 2 videos, 10, being subscribed? There's levels to it. My point being that when you're talking about messaging someone and it being weird, there has to be a weird dynamic. Obviously, a streamer that subscribed to me and has watched my videos in the past and DMs me should not be looked at the same as a random person that does the exact same thing. I've had fans of mine
I mean, I tend to agree. Like, you have to treat it with a little bit more care.
turn into friends of mine, but I don't go seeking out friendships with people who have obsessions with me. There's a difference between a fan of mine who reacts to my videos because they're entertaining and makes some content about me because that's what gets views that I end up becoming friends with, than a random stan that posts thirst edits of me. Obviously a massive difference. There's a difference between a random stan in your Twitch chat that watches every stream because they love you, and a regular viewer that's in your community because they have common interests.
Yeah, like, it's, yeah, a big part of it is going to be who is DMing you. What is the content of the DM? Like, it really just depends on what the DMs are and who's DMing you. But at the end of the day, I don't think there's anything intrinsically wrong with responding to fans that DM you, right? The only thing that could possibly go wrong is the way in which you respond. Because as an adult going out of his way to talk to a child in private, online chat, and having a personal convo, it doesn't matter what your intent is. Wait, hold on. No, because if the kid is reaching out to the creator, and then the creator just responds back and is like, hey, thank you so much for the support, or some shit like that. Or maybe the viewer or fan or whatever is like, hey, do you have any, like, I don't know, advice for how I can get better at Minecraft? Or whatever the fuck. I don't think that there's anything inherently wrong with that. But Dream wasn't doing that? Okay, but we haven't really seen any evidence thus far of him inappropriately talking to anybody that's under the age of 18. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm not just gonna take people's words for it, right?
Interest with you that you end up becoming friends with, and at that point they're no longer a fan, they're a friend, and in some cases becoming some of the most beloved couples on the internet. My point is that there's a lot of nuance. I think it's a responsibility of a creator to be able to recognize dynamics, avoid.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, you don't want to take advantage, right? You have to create some sort of distance between you and the person that looks up to you, if they're messaging you, right? But I don't think it's wrong to just respond. I've already seen the video. He just says hi, thanks, and ghosts the girl. Yeah, exactly. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's not pedophilic, but it's creepy. Okay, can you point to an objective and measurable harm caused by Dream responding with hi, thanks, and then ghosting them? Can you point to a single objective or measurable harm? Or is it just entirely vibes based? And, oh, it's creepy and bad because you don't like it. It's fine if you don't like it, but I don't know. I think that villainizing him over it is a little bit silly. Yeah, obviously I'm not referring to this girl or even Dream. I'm not even talking about Dream specifically. Okay, so you're talking about situations that have nothing to do with Dream and what we're talking about. Because, yeah, obviously there's going to be a lot of instances in which messaging an underage fan is fucking creepy and weird. A disproportionate amount of the time, it probably is. But responding to a fan in of itself isn't necessarily a bad thing. That's literally all I'm saying. Like, if you're just like, hey, thank you for the support. I'm glad that my videos have helped you in some way, or whatever the fuck, in response to a fan, even if they're underage, I don't see a problem with that. Just saying thank you and being grateful, like, that's not like a, like, you're not pursuing like a meaningful two-sided connection there even. You're literally just thanking your fans for supporting you. Like, I don't see the issue.
Avoid any weird ones. You can't just look at the fact that somebody follows you or has watched a couple of your videos and write them off as, oh, they're a fan, therefore we can have no conversation. I was also...
Yeah, I think that that's like a bit silly, right? And if they're 18 or older, like, I don't fucking care. Like, who... It only becomes potentially a problem if it's somebody that's underage, right? Once they're an adult, it's like, okay, can you do a girl voice? No. No, I can't.
Fans of a lot of my friends before I became friends with them. A lot of people that I ended up
I can't do a girl voice. I mean, I don't know. I can try. But I don't know how convincing it is. I don't know. I think that might be something I'd have to work on though. But yeah, anyways, let's continue. Yeah.
hiring as editors or artists or really anything are fans. And then of course you can become friends. Again, the whole point is that there's a lot of specifics to it. You can't just write somebody off completely. But again,
I agree. Yeah.
that's fans. That's not stans. Otherwise, moving back to the next very important thing. Now, the second allegation is what I'm going to talk about in extreme detail. Second allegation came out soon after the first, and
I'm talking about an adult who has a child audience engaging in prolonged private convos with said fans. It's creepy, full stop. Again, I don't know what a prolonged convo would consist of. If they're literally just talking about Minecraft and whatever, there's like a 24-year-old Minecraft YouTuber that's getting into redstone, and they have some 16-year-old fan who's like a genius redstone engineer, and they have a prolonged conversation about Minecraft redstone mechanics. Is that really that bad? I don't think so. Like, if in that case, it's like, oh, okay, well, it's literally just a kid teaching an adult redstone. Like, okay, whatever. It becomes a problem once you start getting personal, right? It's not just about convos or even the length of the convos. It's about what is in the convos, right? If it's personable, talking about life shit, it's creepy. Yeah, that's when it's like, okay. Like if one of my fans messages me and I don't know how old they are and they're talking about their life and asking me about my life, I get a little bit uncomfortable. So I get that. Like, I'll just start being kind of dry and giving one-word answers. Because, like, I don't want to completely ghost somebody, but, like, come on. Let's steer the conversation away from that. Like, I don't know. I don't really have the same issue as Dream, because I don't really have a child audience, but there are inevitably going to be people below the age of 18 that watch any given YouTuber. So, what can I do?
said that the first allegation was why they were sharing their story. It was from a girl that claimed that when she was 17, we inappropriately messaged. This did not happen. Let's get into the details. On September 23rd, 2020, Amanda messaged me from her personal Instagram account, sending a message that was clearly a fan message. She thanked me for saving her life, and I replied to this message. In September of 2020, I was a lot smaller than I am now, so I got a lot less DMs, and I was much more active in like the fan communities and replying to people. And all I replied was, oh, thank you for the kind words. And then I also replied, glad to make you smile, after she followed up with the message. I put a transcript of every Instagram message that I've ever sent her.
Oh shit, alright. So here's what Dream is saying. I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Link to the description.
How's your kitty doing? I assume this person must have been posting pictures of their cat, I guess.
It might not be every
I need advice. I'm trying to become a small streamer on Twitch. And then Dream just gives advice, post clips, blah, blah, blah.
message that she sent me.
Dream, would you ever consider playing Among Us? Maybe. I'll take the maybe. Hi, Dream. Hi, how are you? Good.
Me? Because there's...
Okay. So it looks like this Amanda person is just an aspiring
proof that she
streamer.
deleted
Hi, I just wanted to say Happy New Year. It seems like Amanda is constantly initiating, and Dream is giving surface level responses.
Instagram messages to me. An old TikTok.
So, yeah. I forgot to, yeah, okay, yeah. Arrows point to messages that are not in her video showing Instagram DMs with the allegations, meaning she accidentally showed that she deleted messages in between. Okay.
TikTok of hers has messages from me that wasn't in her post with the accusations when she showed our messages, but my transcript tried to include those and piece it together. But again, it might not be all of them because I don't know what she deleted. I only know what she deleted from the thing she accidentally showed in her old TikTok of the deleted messages. Amanda, on the other hand, how are you doing, Dream? September 25th. The next day I replied, I'm good. Thank you. How are you? Amanda, the same day replied, I'm doing okay. Could be better. Could be worse. Thank you for asking. Amanda replied, how's your kitty doing? I love cats. I replied and said she's doing amazing. September 28th. So 3 days later. Amanda said, Dream,
I misread that. I thought I read Amanda as Dream and Dream is Amanda. That's why I got confused.
Advice. I'm trying to become a small streamer on Twitch, but not a single person joins my streams. How do I get an audience? October 2nd, so a few days later, I replied and said, try and play with your friends maybe? Post clips to Reddit and stuff. And then she replied and said, okay, thank you, with a heart. The next day she messaged me again and said, Dream, would you ever consider playing Among Us with me? XD. I guess this was during the Among Us craze. We're still in 2020. October 5th, 2020, I replied, maybe, heart. Amanda said, LL, I'll take the maybe. That would be sick.
See, I feel like, okay, maybe Dream shouldn't have said maybe because, let's be real, the answer was probably no. But he said maybe because he didn't want to say no. And whatever. But okay, he should have just said no instead of leading her on, right? Because I feel like I could be wrong on this, but he probably knew full well that they were never going to play Among Us together. But yeah. I feel bad for Dream. Bro got bullied when he literally wore a mask with a smile for hours at a time.
I didn't reply. This is a month and a little bit later. Amanda said, hi, Dream. And then she sent another message that was deleted after she made the allegations. We don't know what it was. We only know the last couple characters. And again, we only know it exists because she messed up and included it in an old TikTok of hers. And then I replied later and said hi.
Yeah. Deleting old messages of the person that you're trying to accuse is something you do when the accusations are definitely valid.
Amanda said, how are you? November 16th. So that's another few days later. I replied and said, good, good. How about you? She replied and said, I'm pretty good. Thank you. November 30th. So, like 2 weeks later, Amanda said, hi, Dream. I want to actually become a streamer like you and your friends. I'm just so uneducated on what supplies I need. Can you recommend me all the products I need to successfully stream? Like
Notice how Dream gives like at most a sentence worth of information and Amanda's over here typing like, I don't know, a fucking paragraph. Like, let's be real. It's not Dream initiating this. He's just half-assedly responding.
Computer, cam, mic, headset, etc. You have no idea how I would appreciate it. December 5th, 2020. So like a week later, I replied and said, almost everything I have was recommended by Bad Boy Halo. Haha. Amanda replied and she sent another message that she deleted after she made the allegations. That again, we won't know what it was. December 26th, so almost a month later, Amanda sent a video. We don't know what the video was. I don't think it was opened. I don't know though. I didn't reply. January 5th, Amanda said again, hi Dream, I just want to say happy late New Year and Merry Christmas. Congratulations on everything you've accomplished this year. I hope I am fortunate enough one day to be as successful as you. If you could tell me what kind of computer you have, that'd be great. January 16th, so 11 days later, I replied, thank you. Amanda replied, deleted message, and then part of it was...
Okay, Dream looks like a fucking asshole here because he didn't even tell her what kind of computer he has. It's like he didn't even fucking read the goddamn message. And that's why you shouldn't have prolonged personal convos with fans. You also risk getting misconstrued. Just never do it. See, but this is an argument about why it's optically a bad idea rather than here's why it's morally bad, right? Like, this isn't something I would use to morally condemn Dream. It's more of like a, hey, if you're an aspiring content creator, avoid this, maybe, or something like that. Femyoz, answer the question. Oh, what question? Will you start VCing my server? Probably not.
How are you? But obviously I didn't reply. April 13th, so a long time later, Amanda messaged me again and said, hi. I replied, hi. Amanda said, how are you? I said, decent. How are you? She said, I'm all right. Thank you. And she said, I heard some snippets of the song you're working on, and I really like it. You have a really nice singing voice. I replied on April 14th, thank you. So that was the next day. She said, you're welcome. And then December 26th, so that was like a long time later, she messaged me and said, Merry late Christmas, heart. I didn't reply. January 10th, she messaged me and said,
Wow, didn't even reply to her Merry Christmas.
Hi, my Snapchat was banned and I have no friends. How are you? I replied 2 days later and said, how TF does a Snapchat get banned? Amanda replied and said, I'm pretty sure it's because I posted videos of me smoking, but all my memories from 2014 are gone. So sad. I replied the next day and said, damn. And then she replied that same day and said, yeah, it sucks. How are you?
Yeah, you can tell that Dream literally doesn't give a shit. Like, I'm sorry. Like, he just seems like he doesn't care in these messages, which isn't even necessarily a bad thing.
Your holidays. I replied the next day and said, good, good. How about you? And then Amanda replied that same day and said, pretty good.
You may be wondering at this point, why are you replying to her? You seem
Yeah, you seem clearly disinterested. Yeah.
clearly disinterested. You're taking days or weeks to reply, and then when you do reply, it's very dry. Well, Instagram has a really stupid feature that makes it so that once you've replied to someone's DMs once, you can't remove their ability to personally message you unless you block them. You cannot be following them. You can delete them from your inbox. They can still message you and pop up in your notifications. I'm showing an example on screen of my DM continuing to pop up on my alt account, just to show how it works. Obviously, given I replied to Amanda back in 2020 when I had a much smaller community, she was stuck in my inbox for the rest of time. You can temporarily delete someone from your inbox, and it deletes all of your message history to them for you, but they can still message you.
To be fair, this isn't the best reasoning from Dream, because you can just not respond. You can just not respond. You could just, yeah, that's something you can do.
With now a blank DM history. So at one point, wanting her
You're gonna look like poly people if you don't start VCing in my server. Yeah, no, that's not gonna fucking. I'd rather jump off a cliff. Thanks.
to stop DMing me, I swiped her out of my inbox multiple times. It's actually completely provable that I did do this. I'm showing a video of my Instagram DMs to Amanda now, where they start in December of 2021, much later than her original DMs. Because you can't delete other people's individual messages and you can only delete entire conversations, this proves 100% that I was trying to delete her ability to message.
Oh shit, okay. That's actually pretty good evidence. Because if it started, okay, because 2021 would be before the allegations, blah, blah, blah. So that's when that started. Okay, yeah. I mean, I think he's proved his innocence in this regard.
Message me in 2021. It also shows a problem. The only messages that I can see from Amanda were from December 2021 onward. I had no context or recollection of her original messages to me that made it clear that she was a really big fan. I don't remember everyone that messages me, who they are, where I know them from, so on. She messaged me from her personal Instagram, had no connections to any fan accounts, didn't send me any more fan messages, and she had DM'd me many times talking about content creation and streaming, some of which she deleted. She seemed very normal, friendly, and implied strongly that she was overage. What I thought about her age doesn't matter that much because nothing inappropriate happened, but it does matter to show my mindset because I don't go around befriending underage girls or people that are obsessed with me or my content to the best of.
Yeah, so if that's like an adult, then I don't, and there's nothing inappropriate happened, then what's the issue?
My knowledge, she was neither. Continuing with the transcript, now we get to the very end, which was our first real conversation. This one was about music, which makes sense. It's something I'm really passionate about. At the time, I was working on a song called Trust Issues and some other random music projects. And in the middle of us talking about music, I gave her my Snapchat. I said, add me on Snapchat. And she said, sure thing, just added you. I was sharing music snippets with
That's obviously a mistake on his end.
a bunch of people at the time, and as we were talking about music, I wanted to share them with her. And I'm obviously not going to send snippets of a new song over Instagram. Now, I've pretty much always used Snapchat as one of my main forms of communication. It was actually the first social media I ever got because a friend of mine wanted to start a streak with me. And it's something I started using a lot more when I became faceless on YouTube because yeah, stuff is deleted.
That's creepy. See, I mean, it's more like it's a bad idea. Again, did he perceive Amanda to be an adult? Because if so, I don't know. I don't know. It's definitely not a good idea, but I don't know. Like, it definitely could come across as weird. I'll give you that, but that doesn't mean he did something wrong necessarily.
You don't have to stress over people analyzing or leaking everything you say. And for me, even for something as simple as a picture of my cat, people used to zoom into my cat's eyes to look at the reflection to try and dox me. This was not uncommon at all. So of course I felt much more comfortable using Snapchat during this period, especially with people that I wasn't great friends with, but even with my best friends. Now let's go over her.
Okay, that's kind of valid, because with Snapchat, yeah, okay, the messages like delete or whatever after the fact. Okay, I understand that aspect of it. But yeah, I don't know.
Her actual claims in detail. Amanda claims that after I added her on Snapchat on January 17th, 2022, that we started sexting. She showed that her birthday, when she would turn 18, is on February 17th, exactly a month later. She claims that we sexted from around the 17th of January, the day I added her on Snapchat, to the 10th of February, and then that it stopped. She said that while she was still underage, we exchanged nudes. Her evidence of this was 2 photos of, supposedly me, from after she was 18, complimenting her. Her final important claim was that she traveled to Orlando in August.
It looks like you did nothing wrong, but optically it's fucking stupid. Well, yeah, I agree with that, but, like, the allegations aren't that he's stupid, it's that he's a groomer. I don't care if Dream is stupid. I didn't like Dream to begin with. I was never a fan of Dream. I'm not gonna sit here and claim, oh yeah, he looks like an absolute fucking genius. No, he obviously looks like an idiot. Because he is one. But that doesn't mean he's a groomer.
In this video, I'm going to be very vulnerable, open, and honest. I go into
oh
my
no,
past,
I did not mean to do that. That was my bad.
Hate and that it's easy to get spiteful and join in on a hate train. I had ignored multiple people at the time, and as we were talking about music, I wanted to share them with her. And I'm obviously not going to send snippets of a new song over Instagram. Complimenting her. Her final important claim was much later than her original DMs. Because you can't delete other people's...
Sorry.
Was about music, random music, share the main focus over people analyzing or to my cat's February 17th, 2022, that we started sexting. She showed that her birthday, when she would turn 18, is on February 17th, exactly a month later. She claims that we sexted from around the 17th of January, the day I added her on Snapchat, to the 10th of February, and then that it stopped. She said that while she was still underage, we exchanged nudes. Her evidence of this was 2 photos of, supposedly me, from after she was 18, complimenting her. Her final important...
Yeah. Which would be weird still if that happened, but... not what the original claim was.
Claim was that she traveled to Orlando in August and that we planned to meet up and have sex. And I just want to make sure that I blatantly deny this before continuing. None of this is true. And now I'm going into more detail. Now, unfortunately, because she didn't provide any proof of these things, it's difficult to be specific about some of the things she claimed. It's much easier to completely make up that something happened than it is to prove that it never did. Like if I said right now, prove to me 100% that you never sexted a specific person that you've had on Snapchat at any point. It would
Fembro, prove that you never sexted me on Snapchat right now.
Would be impossible to do, but what I can do is lay out all the inconsistencies, talk about the proven lies, the specifics, point out questions that were never asked, and provide all the evidence that I have. And I believe that luckily, that's way more than enough. So first, I want to talk about the timeline. Every contact we've ever had with each other before January 17th is the Instagram DMs, which I just read to you, which are now all public in their entirety in the description of this video, other than the messages that she deleted. She claims that sexting started around January 17th and that sexting stopped February 10th.
So from the 17th to maybe February 10th is the time frame where we were sexting.
So even if we say that it started a couple weeks before it stopped, you'd have to believe that every message you've just seen, we went from that to sexting days later in 2022 before my face reveal. Even if you want to give her the maximum benefit of doubt and say that she confused the timeline, she turned 18 on the 17th, 1 week after she claimed the sexting stopped. So there's not much leeway. Secondly, we can talk about her Twitter. She tweeted out defending me from hate on my face reveal 10 days before the allegations and was liking my tweets, including a subscriber milestone tweet 2 days before she tweeted her allegations. With the time
Wow, she must have just had a huge change of heart.
of the face reveal and her allegation, my belief is that there was a lot of hate and that it's easy to get spiteful and join in on a hate.
I don't sext bottoms. Shut up. Hello, my favorite bottom streamer. Shut up.
Train. I had ignored multiple of her Instagram DMs and Snapchat messages in recent months, and I had also made a new Snapchat that I didn't add her on. I still used my old Snapchat occasionally, but I just rarely responded. That's my only real explanation for why she flipped so quickly from being publicly positive to me to lying about me, but I guess I'll never really know. Thirdly, the only photos she showed as proof that I groomed her were both pictures from based on her own evidence after she was 18, meaning even if we give her the benefit of doubt and assume everything she's provided is real and truthful, she was 18 when these messages would have been sent, and I had no context to the fact that she was more than a small streamer. But on top of that, I unblocked her Snapchat, went through our Snapchat chats, and couldn't find either of the messages that she was talking about. I also downloaded all of our Snapchat logs using the Snapchat data tool, which she can do as well, and neither of the compliments that she showed were in the logs. Now, honestly, this is pretty useless information because there's almost no messages in the logs at all, but it's still extremely weird that she was asked for these logs many times. It takes 5 minutes to download, and she never did it. Probably.
Oh, wow, what gives? I wonder why. Called me and told me she just murdered someone on the wait, what? What?
Because it doesn't support what she was saying. On top of those things, from everything she had told me, she was 19, and we had no inappropriate contact. The context of these messages would be a 22-year-old creator calling a 19-year-old streamer gorgeous on a birthday post while giving her a gift card as a birthday present. Finally, she said that we planned to meet up and have sex in August when she was in Orlando.
It was suggested that we meet up and have sex. I was either going to have him come to the resort I was at, or he was going to pick me up and bring him to his house.
First of all, this was before my face reveal. I did not leave my house. I was massively paranoid. I was not meeting up with a random person I had just met 2 months before my face reveal, let alone at a resort, which is what her claim was. I'm gonna go ahead and play a phone call with my mom just to give you some perspective from before my face reveal. How many times do you think that I left the house between 2021 and my face reveal?
Wow, I don't know, 3? Maybe 4.
What did I leave?
I mean, obviously, whatever. I don't care what Dream's mom says, but I believe this, I guess.
Whenever I left the house.
Well, I know you went to the dentist 3 times, and then I think one other time was when you had the kidney stones. So
Oh yeah,
we
you're the
went to
hospital.
Those were the only times he left the house. And we were worried because we didn't want you to call 911 because we didn't even know if they would come because of all the fake swattings and everything. So I had to come get you and take you to the hospital. So it was probably 5 times that he left.
Okay, what was the process when we did leave the house?
Source, my mom literally did this. Yeah, this is dumb. I think I'm gonna skip this part.
In an old TikTok of hers, and that's all completely factual and documented. Later, she was bragging on TikTok, calling people doubting her jealous, saying, "I'm gorgeous and my favorite YouTuber thought so too. It's giving jealous."
Yeah, okay, no, your favorite YouTuber didn't give a single shit about you, Amanda. I'm sorry.
Not treating the serious situation that she claimed happened seriously at all. People also found old tweets of hers where she was replying very inappropriately to other streamer friends of mine. She was even banned in one of my friend's chats for saying she wanted to sit on his face. These accounts weren't linked to her Instagram, so I would have had no idea about them. She also replied to fans of mine questioning her with slurs. She also said that she was gonna lie and tell me that she was 18, but that she changed her mind, I guess.
So I was going to lie and tell him I was 18.
She said she would provide proof of the fact that she told me she was 17 and that I still sexted her tomorrow.
But I didn't, and that
Okay.
proof will come out tomorrow.
And guess what? She never posted proof, because this never happened. She tweeted out thanking people for all the support and claimed at the end that I deleted our DMs, right as she tweeted this. And
okay, I think at this point we can say, okay, yeah, Amanda is a lying bitch. Okay, let's move on to the next timestamp.
She then tweeted a picture of the inside of a police station and also said she'll come back with more evidence, to be patient, that's a process, and that it could be days. And that's her last tweet. It's been almost a year and a half now. After these allegations and after my face reveal, I'll be honest, I lost a lot of motivation. I distanced myself from Minecraft, and I even thought about quitting and retiring. Of course, it was pretty scary, and I just wanted to be able to upload Minecraft videos and have fun with my friends without worrying about people trying to ruin my life or attack my family or make up lies about me. And after all the swatting and doxing and fake allegations, it really just felt not worth it anymore. But also, I'd basically
No, I get that. I mean,
been stuck inside for the majority of the last 4 years, so I just thought I'd step back for a little bit. I traveled with my friends. I met a lot of
that's fair.
Nicholas
All right.
Cantu.
Let's find out about Gumball vs. Dream. We already know about it, but I want to hear Dream's perspective.
If you don't know who that is, he's the voice actor for Gumball, Diego from Dora, and one of the turtles in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I had a terrible experience in real life with this person, so I replied to him talking about it and defending myself, and this situation blew up. I don't think I've ever gotten more hate in my life. September 23rd, I went to a friend of mine's birthday party in Austin, Texas. When I showed up, Nicholas Cantu was there. He was already drunk and was drinking. He was being very aggressive to me throughout the night. I didn't know him. This was my first time ever meeting him, and we were not friends. Eventually, while on FaceTime to show his friends, he hit me out of nowhere. Again, this was my first time ever meeting him. I was there for another hour.
There actually is evidence of this. Weirdly enough.
Hour or so, and then when leaving the party, everyone decided to Uber together because it was late and there wasn't many of us there. Nicholas ended up in the front seat of the Uber that I was in, despite my apprehension. I thought, what's the worst that could happen? It's an Uber ride, and there's other people there, so I wasn't worried. Little did I know, he ended up dropping his phone out of the Uber window in the middle of the highway, and after he got out to look for it, the police showed up and stopped him from looking because it was dangerous and dark. Eventually, the Uber driver convinced Nicholas to leave.
Well, I want to promise you that I'm sober, so if you guys want to conduct a sobriety test.
Hey, look, hey, we're about to head out.
And after we left, the Uber driver was trying to give advice to Nicholas on the police, telling him that he could have been arrested, and Nicholas
And what does Nicholas do?
did not like what he had to say.
You're retarded, you're Down syndrome, I don't give a how far did you go in your education?
This is why I said that the voice actor for Gumball is a fucking loser.
Of course, I started to get involved and argue with Nick, defending the Uber driver, and Nick did not like that at all.
Either you're gonna be feral.
So basically, Nick is a fucking loser. But apparently, he did an interview with the Uber driver.
I also posted screenshots of texts between me and the Uber driver, confirming that he had blatantly lied and didn't even tip the Uber driver. After I posted this, Nicholas went silent, deleted his tweets, and hasn't said anything publicly since. People still think that I lied and faked the Uber driver's text, or many other lies that were falsely spread by Nicholas or other people online. So I got in contact with the Uber driver from that night, I interviewed him, and I'll let him speak for himself to help clear some things up. Hey, what's the worst that can happen? It's an Uber drive. And what's the worst that can happen?
What's the worst that can happen? It happened.
Either you're gonna be paralyzed or you're gonna be dead. Like, I'm serious.
Okay, man. What's going on, man?
This is our Uber driver, who happens to be one of the highest rated Uber drivers in all of Texas. He agreed to come share his recollection of what happened, so I'm just gonna let him talk.
When I picked you guys up, you know, he had a lot of energy. He was wild, like putting his head outside filming. The phone dropped out of the car. When the cop showed up, the cop came up to the car at first and was talking to him. And the way that he was speaking to the cop, he was speaking like down on the cop. And I'm like, man, like, you need to be quiet because you're gonna go to jail if you keep talking to the cops like that. As soon as I said that, not even 20 seconds, the cop came. And he was like, you get out the car, you're going to jail. I'm trying to save you from going to jail because I don't want nobody to go to jail, period. He kept saying something about like IQ, like he felt like he was better. And I was like, nobody cares about your IQ. There's a lot of people with high IQs in jail right now. So what are you gonna tell him? You're gonna talk to him and say that you're a child star while you're in jail? So
Yeah, literally. I think that that's a fairly good summary. I don't think we have to watch the full interview. But yeah, we on a previous stream we kind of already established that the what is his name? Nick Cantu is a fucking loser, so nothing in this video is going to change my opinion on that.
Of all the Nicholas drama, someone tweeted out this, accusing me of sexting a 16/17-year-old girl named Jamie. Because I was currently the internet punching bag, and it was proof that the punching was justifiable, it was spread very quickly, without a lot of questions being asked. Before I break it down, I want to immediately say that this is not true. I did not groom anyone, I did not groom Jamie, and I would never be inappropriate with someone underage. When they posted this allegation, attached was a video. That, of course, went viral. It was a video from another phone of a Snapchat being opened, supposedly from Dream, that had moaning in the background and a very sexual caption. This is the clip in its entirety, without audio.
So, I'm pretty sure that the moaning was actually Dream, but
they
there was
also
no
attached screenshots of Discord DMs.
I don't think there was any evidence that he sent it to a minor.
Between anonymous people who were claimed to be two friends of Dream's and said it was them discussing me having sexted a minor. In these screenshots, they say that I was confronted about it and that I admitted it. I've shown you every piece of evidence they posted without changes, and I've mentioned everything that they've claimed. Now, just to reiterate, this is not true. Every piece of evidence is either out of context, edited, blatantly lied about, or presented in a very disingenuous way. Again, I did not groom anyone. I also was never confronted about grooming by any of my friends. Now, of course, when something like this is claimed, it's extremely serious. So I'm going to break it down in detail. Okay, so who is this accusation from? It's from an anonymous burner account made the day of the accusation, which is interesting. So we don't know who they are, but we do know who the victim is. Jamie, right? And how old did they say she was? They said 16/17. Okay, so what else do we know about Jamie? They said she left the internet in 2020. So because they apparently can't, let me tell you who Jamie is. I follow Jamie on Twitter, which people quickly pointed to as proof. As you can see, Jamie is also followed by Skeppy, Verb, and Spifey, other YouTubers from the community. I met Jamie when I wasn't even a YouTuber. I had just posted my first ever YouTube video less than a month before. I had less than 100 followers on Twitter the month that I met her. I made a lot of friends around this time because I wasn't a big creator and I was part of a lot of online communities as a fan. She played on Bad Boy Halo's Minecraft server and was a fan of Skeppy. I was trying to grow and make connections, and I had pretty much just made my Twitter account, so I made a lot of friends. Many people from this time I'm still friends with to this day. People claiming that me following her is proof that I sexed underage fans or
yeah, I think following somebody on Twitter and somebody sexting underage fans is I don't know, there's a little bit of a disconnect there. I don't know. It's almost like they're two completely separate things that have nothing to do with each other.
Her at all is ridiculous. These claims are completely false. They were right about her age. She's 21 now, so she would have been around 17 4 years ago. That's about the only correct thing they said this entire time. Like, remember they said she quit the internet in 2020 as a convenient way to excuse any questions about her? Well, she didn't.
So who were the moaning clips sent to?
She liked a tweet from last month, actively tweeted all of 2022, and she changed her bio and Twitter account name when this happened, just wanting to be left alone? That's interesting. And she actually tweeted saying she only privated her account because some of her IRL friends were finding it and she didn't want them to. I wonder why they lied about that. Maybe because the person who's claiming this doesn't know Jamie, doesn't know anything about Jamie, doesn't know me, doesn't know anything about me, and is being malicious and making up whatever they can to end my career. Let's talk about some other stuff. They also said they posted the videos with permission, which
So wait, let's replay that.
Doesn't know me, doesn't know any person whose her IRL friends were finding it and she didn't want them to. I wonder why they lied about that. Maybe because the person who's claiming this doesn't know Jamie, doesn't know.
Okay, so I think that the best thing you could do there is talk to Jamie. Like, if you're still following her account, then you could just DM her.
Know anything about Jamie, doesn't know me, doesn't know anything about me, and is being malicious and making up whatever they can to end my career. Let's talk about some other stuff. They also said they posted the videos with permission, which of course makes the videos seem much more real. Well, it's apparently me, and I didn't give them permission, and it's apparently sent to Jamie, and she didn't give them permission. She quit the internet. She couldn't have. They even critiqued Moist Critical for his video, saying how terrible it was, claiming that I admitted that the Snapchats were real, which I never did. In their original tweet, they notably say, when she had her age in her bio, which seems oddly specific, just to remove the few people that would say, well, what if he didn't know her age? When even in their own proof, which is random Discord messages with no context or who the messages even are, in another part of the
yeah, I don't know. This is not looking good for the accusers, to be honest.
Their screenshot, anonymous person number 2 says this, but for some reason that's cropped out of their tweets because they don't even know what the screenshots they're using as evidence say. They don't care about the truth. They're just making things up as they go. And because it's a claim against me, people will just believe it. They can say Jamie left the internet, no proof, but I guess she did. They say they got permission to post these videos. I guess they did. They post a video of Snapchats. Say it's mine. They never show the Snapchat profile or any proof that it's my Snapchat, but I guess you can't change your Snapchat name for free to anything at any time as many times as you want. So it must be Dream. No more evidence needed. They're telling the truth. Even with what little context and evidence they have.
To be fair, I thought that when he made a tweet on his Twitter account where he said that, I thought he admitted that the Moaning stuff was real, but he was like, but that it wasn't sent to a minor. Or maybe I misinterpreted that.
They have to crop things and lie to try and hide the fact that they know nothing. But the burner seemed so confident. They couldn't be being malicious. They even put in their bio that if Dream reached out, they would personally give him their information so that he could sue them, because everything they were saying was 100% true. Oh, what? That's not in their bio anymore? That's weird. I wonder why they removed that. They did reveal who they got the original screenshots from. So let's see what that person has to say and why the burner was so confident in their claims. Quote,
Dream is definitely innocent in this situation, but I'm still against him because of that one time he cheated in Minecraft speedrunning. Yeah, that's like the same as my position.
I don't know Jamie. I've never known her. I've never had a private or a public interaction with her at all. Unquote. Wow, seems like they have a whole lot of information. So I reached out to them to try and find anything that I could find to find out what this was even about, because I've never been confronted by one of my friends for grooming, and I've never groomed anybody. So I found out who was anonymous in these messages, and let's hear what they have to say.
These screenshots are extremely out of context and used disingenuously to tell a story about Dream that isn't true at all. I haven't spoken to Dream in a very long time, but to my knowledge, he has not interacted with underage fans inappropriately or in any way that could be considered grooming. These DMs were posted by the burner without my permission and without ever contacting me beforehand. They were sent to the burner by a vulnerable person that was upset and being taken advantage of while under the influence of alcohol. I want to be anonymous and stay completely out of this because all of the terrible stuff I've seen happen to everyone mentioned on both sides is very scary. This conversation.
All right. So, all right. I don't think we need to watch the rest of this to know that, okay, yeah, Dream is probably innocent. Like, goddamn. I mean, I believe Dream, to be honest. And I don't think I've ever done this before. This is probably the first and last time I'll ever do this. Alright, I'll smash like, alright? Because he pretty much cleared his name. Congratulations, Dream. You have my stamp of approval, which I know means so much to you. Also, hello, Patau Crafter. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, I kind of already figured, but I wanted to see what he has to say, and basically he was saying what I had already been saying in my analysis of the actual evidence itself. And he basically just showed all of the evidence that I had already seen and giving counter evidence. I mean, that combined with my initial analysis leads me to believe that he's completely innocent here. The only thing he's guilty of is being cringe, which, don't get me wrong, terrible crime. Don't want to do that. But, I mean, is that really the same as grooming? I don't think so. So what can we conclude today? Well, I don't know. I feel bad for this guy, is my conclusion. I don't think that he did the vast majority of the things that people have claimed. I think that people have been quick to jump to conclusions because anything bad about somebody that they don't like must be true. But that's not exactly the case. I don't like Dream, but that doesn't mean that I think he's a groomer. In fact, I haven't seen any evidence of him being one. I know I didn't really say that much during the video, but that's because I pretty much agreed with most of the things that Dream said. And yeah, I just feel bad for him now. Because, like, actually, I don't like Dream, therefore he is Hitler. Yeah, it's literally that same mindset of, oh, well, I mean, he's kind of cringe, so it's probably true. But what standard of evidence is that? Like, imagine you're at a court and the judge is like, yeah, I know there's not that much evidence against you, but I think you're guilty because you seem kind of cringe, bro, not gonna lie. Instead of actually looking at the validity of the evidence itself. It's a weird phenomenon that you get when you have a shit ton of people on the internet who can say anything and support anyone who says whatever the fuck. So if somebody says something bad about somebody you don't like, well, maybe you're going to be inclined to support them. Oh, that Dream person, they were kind of fucking annoying. I'm glad to see that they're getting taken down a peg. You know what? Why don't I help support the people that are taking them down a peg? Because they're doing the right thing. Because it negatively affects somebody that I don't like. But what you end up with is situations like these, where basically the accused is being accused on the basis of not the validity of the accusations, but the extent to which the people levying said accusations dislike you. And when that happens, you start to take away from the perceived credibility of anyone in the future that comes out with legitimate allegations. Either that, or you set a precedent for being able to just ruin anybody's career so long as they're unpopular enough, or so long as there's enough people that don't like them. Either way, you're setting a bad precedent. And I think that is the biggest reason for why this is harmful. I don't like Dream. I haven't made that a secret. But I, for starters, am sympathetic towards him because I don't think that he did anything wrong, other than being a little bit cringe or having bad optics. Heaven forbid, something I would never stoop so low as to do myself, of course. You know, I'm known for having great optics, obviously. But yeah. Anyways, I'm fucking tired, and I don't know what else to say. Other than, yeah, this is about what I expected. I thought that Dream was gonna make himself look bad. To be honest. I thought, oh, he's gonna say some dumb shit. He's gonna find a way to contradict himself, etc. He did a little bit of that in the beginning, where he talked way too much about the speedrunning stuff. But once we skipped past that, I think he did a fairly good job defending himself. And fair enough. You're known for being a bottom. Shut up. No, I'm not. You're known for being a bottom, not me. Damn. Smash like indeed. Anyways, yeah, smash like if you enjoyed or something. I hope that I gave enough commentary. I feel like I was a little quiet today. Not just that my voice is quieter, but as in I wasn't talking as often. But I just didn't really disagree with anything Dream was saying. So, yeah. I guess that, I mean, alright, I guess. I mean, what can I say? Is there any, videos that are disagreeing with what Dream said, or what? I mean, fair enough. Looks like Jalen did a stream. That's good. I've been telling her, talk about the dream stuff, so good news. But yeah, anyways, yeah. Femyoz, yeah, I'm EP. I'm a little bit EP, I won't lie. I am Femyoz, and you know what? That's okay. I think I... Alright. I mean, I'm sort of... I'm making fan art for you. Why, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, Dream's response video basically backed up everything that I was saying in my, original Dramayoz streams where I talked about Dream, obviously. What else would it be? And, yeah. So, let's see. Was I right? Yeah, of course I was. Sorry, I had to get my squishmallow. 'Cause, you know, reasons. But yeah. I mean, let's look at sort of where I...
Now, Dream has found himself in a little bit of hot water lately. I don't know much about the situation, so the first video we're going to be watching is called Dream Situation is Crazy from Penguin0, aka Moist Critical. And I decided this is a good place to start because he makes content. He makes content for normies. Apparently, this was uploaded on Thanksgiving. Half of the new shit is false. I mean, we're going to get into that, and we're going to analyze whether or not there's actually enough evidence. I mean, that's my main goal here. Regardless of whether or not I like Dream, I want to be as intellectually honest as possible.
Yeah, and what you're going to find is when you're as intellectually honest as possible, rather than trying to shit on somebody that you don't like, you're going to find that maybe the evidence isn't actually that strong. You're doing a great job at streaming, but a terrible job at beating the bottom allegations. Shut up. I'm not... I will never give in to the bottom allegations. Fuck you.
So, I'm gonna, you know, set any biases I may have aside, whether they be contrarian ones or ones that are against Dream, and just look at things for what they are. Let's...
And that's the sort of mindset that more people need to have, because, as per usual, I turned out to be right, everybody else was wrong, hoo-ha, the whole world works. It's so hard being right all the time, I know.
Get started.
Thanksgiving, everybody. I hope you and your family have a wonderful time of festivities, food, and whatever else you may do to celebrate today. I'm starting my Thanksgiving festivities the way our forefathers intended, by reading through an unbelievably long list of accusations and allegations against a YouTuber named...
Oh boy, I'm so excited. I can't wait to get started. Holy guacamole. Yeah, I spent my Thanksgiving not learning about Dream Drama, thankfully. It's been confirmed the new shit was debunked by Dream and the Accuser. Oh, hell yeah, we're gonna get into that. Because apparently, has Dream responded officially? I know that, from what I understand, Dream is going to make a response video. And when he does, we are absolutely going to be watching that.
And that's basically what we did today. But it didn't require me looking at a response video where he finds inconsistencies and debunks the quote-unquote evidence against him with more evidence. It shouldn't require that. To have a basic level of analysis to the point where you can look at the evidence that has been presented and say, hey, wait a minute, that's actually not enough evidence. And the fact that he had to make an entire hour-and-a-half long video, an hour and a half, just to debunk something that shouldn't have had to have been debunked in the first place. Again, This is why my standard of evidence always has been and always will be guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. Because, well, just turns out that, I don't know. Something, there's a reason I'm always right. I'm just saying. But yeah.
So, that being said, it looks like he has not uploaded his response. Because if you look on his channel, his most recent video is from 3 weeks ago, called Minecraft Protect the Chicken. Protect the Chicken. Yes, that is... I don't think that that's him responding to the allegations. But yeah, I'm...
Correct. That is not his response to the allegations. Astute observation, Femyoz.
I mean, we'll look on his Twitter in a bit, but, yeah. First, let's just learn about the situation from Moist Critical. Are you trans, Femyoz? You better believe I am. I can't even speak properly. What is wrong with me?
I've gotten even worse at speaking, haven't I?
Jesus. Anyways, let's continue. Speaking of Jesus, we have Jesus on screen.
Dream. Massive YouTuber, I'm sure you're familiar with the channel. I don't know how he's celebrating Thanksgiving, but I'll tell you one thing I know he's not thankful for, and it's Twitter. There are at least 100,000 different threads attempting to chronicle every single allegation as well as, like, the supposed evidence to support all the claims. And this morning, I decided to, like, finally just take the plunge, fucking cannonball into this cesspool and figure out what exactly he's even being accused of, what the evidence is,
Who is stronger, Dream or Gumball? I literally have no idea.
To make heads or tails of this wild web of things. And Jiminy Christmas, I'll just tell you, sports fans, I'm more confused than a caveman seeing fire for the first time.
Yeah, situation is kind of confusing, and if the situation is confusing, maybe don't comment on it. I don't know, something like that. Maybe don't go around spreading false accusations. I'm just saying. You've only gotten worse at pretending you're not a bottom. Nuh-uh. I've gotten better. Shut up. Fuck you. I'm not a bottom. You're a bottom. Okay? Look, if this isn't peak masculinity, then I don't know what is, alright? Shut the fuck up. Yeah, that's right. You're too much of a beta bitch to wear clothing like this. Fuck you.
Yeah, I'm also confused because I did do a little bit of research before stream, believe it or not. I know, I actually put effort into stuff. It's almost like I care about what I'm doing and want to do good stuff. But I feel like I know less now, after watching some videos about the Dream situation than I did beforehand. Now I'm just confused. I don't know what is real and what is fake. I don't know, I mean, again, this is why I'm sort of going into this as a blank slate, looking at
I don't know what's real and don't know what's fake. Again, good point from yours truly. Because how would you know? Like, how do you know what is or isn't real? If it's just out of context screenshots. That's the point. I can't rock thigh highs in a skirt like you, probably because I'm not a bottom like you. Shut up. Stop calling me a bottom. Also, the other thing about... Oh god. Fuck, I forgot what I was gonna say. I have to relearn how to have a streamer/YouTuber voice because you know how I've done the whole voice training thing? Well, here's the thing. This voice...
The evidence as, you know, at face value and then assessing what it actually means, what it indicates, what it doesn't indicate,
was performative to an extent, right? So, I don't really have a performative girl voice. I just have the way I speak versus YouTuber voice. So, it's weird because for a while I was doing a little bit of voice training off stream, and then I would stream, go into YouTuber mode, and just do my streaming voice. But now I've gotten to a point where, like, okay, everyone knows I'm trans. I'm not fooling anybody, so I may as well just, I don't know, talk normally, I guess. But here's the problem. Here's the problem is that I don't fucking know how to do this anymore because I'm so used to speaking in a very certain way with this very specific cadence that I wouldn't talk to people with in real life, right? I wouldn't talk like a YouTuber to an individual person. But learning how to do that while also doing a completely different voice is kind of difficult. So, yeah, I'm trying my best here. Everyone knows you're a bottom, you're not fooling anybody. Like, if you look at the concurrent viewers, it's way less. There's 3 people watching. And I'm wondering, is it the voice? Is it the content? I genuinely have no idea. But I don't know. I don't know. Streaming is difficult. I tell you. I tell you, it's fucking difficult. Because, like, here's the... oh, God. Fucking dehydrated. Holy shit. Alright, hold on. I'm gonna take my hoodie off. Ugh. Goodness gracious. At least you know who the true fans of Bottomyoz are. I mean, that's true. Look, here's the thing. I don't know how to be entertaining anymore. I've sort of lost the ability. Because my brain isn't working. Okay, I think that the issue is, instead of doing performative masculinity, what if I'm doing performative femininity without realizing it, and then that's taking up the duration of the space in my brain? So for instance, if I just talk like a normal person, this is what I sound like at this point. So like, it's like a little bit lower, I guess. I don't know, but it's like, that's the thing is like, I don't know, I feel like I stumble over my words more. Because I used to be able to talk really fast. Like, consistently. On stream. And now I'm struggling to do that. And I don't know why. Like, I feel like I was doing it really well for a while. I had, like, a whole streak of really entertaining streams. And now it's like, oh, yeah, about that. But maybe I'm just more tired sometimes. But here's the thing, right? Maybe the problem is that you're not being enough of a whore. I mean, maybe. Probably not. I feel like... I don't know. Like, what if I've lost my appeal? Like, if I become too much of, like, an actual girl, if that makes sense, in the perception of everybody else, people stop caring. I lose the appeal of being a boy that dresses and acts like a girl. You see what the issue is? Because if people think, oh, that's a girl, or, oh, that's like a trans girl, it's not as interesting, is it? And I'm wondering if that's sort of the problem. So, maybe, just maybe, I learn how to, I don't know, I need to figure something out, because when it comes to my ability to be funny, a lot of it comes from dry humor, where I'll say something in a very serious sounding way, but like you can tell I'm joking. But it's a lot easier to do that with my, I guess, the voice that I've been doing on YouTube for the longest time, rather than this, because I've gotten the intonation down. I know how to do it in a way that has comedic effect. But when you have a different voice, it almost has a different tone to it without you even trying to give it a different tone. It's just a matter of the way in which it's perceived. So you could be saying all the same things, but if you're perceived differently and your voice sounds different, then I don't know. The girl voice sounds like you are emulating a specific person, not you. Who am I emulating? Yeah, maybe that's the problem, is I don't know how to do it without it being performative. That's the problem. I don't know how to... Because here's the problem. I, by default, am a very non-conforming person, right? But when I do a certain voice to try and sound more feminine, for instance, I'm trying to conform to a certain idea of what a girl voice is supposed to sound like. And when I do that, well, I'm not being me. I'm being a caricature, almost. Someone that says things that are similar, but in a performative, not really me kind of way. And this is part of why I haven't been doing it on stream. Because at the end of the day, on streams, there's sort of like a me element to it. There's something about me that's involved in every stream. And when I'm experimenting with something like my voice, something that is fundamental to me, then it's very difficult to change that without changing me. Because while it might be the case that I am a girl that identifies as such, there's something about the way in which I articulate stuff by default. And there's something about changing that changes me, the way I come across. See, I've found ways of articulating myself despite my voice. I've found ways of, I guess, getting a certain message across. People found it very easy to read me. And that's sort of one of the things that makes me considered likable by many. I'm also fucking hated by a lot of other people, but that's besides the point. Something that would be a likable attribute of me, I guess, is that I'm easy to read. But I'm wondering if doing this voice makes me more difficult to read. In fact, I'm starting to believe that it does. So, what is the best way for me to do a voice that is perceived as a girl voice while also being perceived the way that I genuinely feel? Well, that's the thing, is I never was perceived the way that I genuinely feel doing the guy voice or the girl voice. In fact, I mean, the closest I got was, I don't know what the closest I got was, but if doing that voice makes you seem easier to top, what, the girl voice or the guy voice? Because what's interesting is I would think that the guy voice would make me easier to top. For some reason. I don't know. Because then it's like Femboy, right? Whereas this is more like, I don't know, girl. That's sort of what makes it interesting. Now, what's also interesting is I don't know what my voice truly is. Is this my voice? Because for this right now is like the default state of speaking. This is how I speak in my most default state. It's not how I used to speak in my default state, but it is now. And it's only because of voice training that this is my default state of speaking. And that's sort of why I've sort of shifted on stream from doing the deeper voice to the higher voice. But maybe the best thing I can do is my default voice, which is going to be more androgynous. But here's the thing. I don't know what my default voice is anymore, because I could go on and performatively make it deeper, but that's going to have all of the same issues, because it's not going to be natural anymore. It's not going to be me, right? I can still, I actually can't do it right now, but if I put effort into it, I could. But here's the thing. it's not the same. The reason it's not the same isn't because it's not the same voice, but it's because it requires a certain amount of effort that I wouldn't otherwise have to put into it. And the interesting thing about that is I sort of just have a tendency to say a lot of words without thinking about the way I speak. But when you're trans femme and you're doing voice training and whatnot, you're going to be very self-conscious of what your voice sounds like. Right now, I'm trying to speak in the default way of speaking, but I'm also self-conscious of my voice. I'm thinking about it. It's something that I can't help myself from thinking about when I speak. And ultimately, also, thank you for the fan art. Very much appreciated. I'll show it on screen. As you can see, you've got the skirt, the hair, the thigh highs, crop top, etc. Thought I may as well show that. But yeah, anyways. Yeah, so here's the thing. I can performatively do whatever fucking voice. But at the end of the day, my quote-unquote default voice is going to continue to change if I voice train. Unless I voice train in two opposing directions so that I'm able to do like a man voice and a girl voice, which maybe I end up doing. I don't know yet. But what you'll notice is when I talk for extended periods of time, like this, for instance, my voice is starting to sound a little bit more natural, right? Does this sound unnatural to you? I would hope not, because it's not. It's literally just the default way of speaking for me now. But what's interesting is I didn't used to sound like this by default. So do I come across the same way if I'm putting the same amount of effort into doing a certain voice, or do I come across differently? Am I articulating myself in a different manner based on a different intonation of my voice, or a different, I don't know, whatever the fuck. You should train your voice to sound like Miss Piggy. Yeah. I'll have to consider that. Yeah. No, but here's the thing. I'm wondering if I've gone from performative masculinity to performative femininity, both of which are, well, not particularly desirable in the long term. I don't want to have to do anything performatively. Sure, I might be performatively speaking. I might be speaking with a certain inflection or a certain cadence that makes me easier to listen to. But no matter what you do, when you talk to a stream or a group of people or even just one person, no matter what, it's going to be performative to an extent. You're not just speaking to yourself. You're speaking to others to communicate information. If I was by myself and nobody around me existed, then what would I be saying other than a bunch of random syllables with a random intonation and a random set of hand gestures? What would it be other than just that? But what's interesting is I don't know if there is a such thing as myself in terms of how I express myself. However I express myself is going to be influenced by the way in which society views and treats me, and the way I view and treat society. It's going to go hand in hand. I wouldn't be using the English language if society around me didn't also teach me to use the English language. I wouldn't have done any voice training if I, by default, originally spoke like this, but at the same time, for the longest time, I believe that I performatively used a more masculine-sounding voice without even realizing it. Why? Because that's what society expects a man to sound like. And when you categorize yourself in a certain way, whether it be as a man, as a woman, whatever, you expect yourself to sound a certain way. And when you expect yourself to sound a certain way, you're going to, intentionally or not, start trying to sound that way. You're so cute. Why, thank you, Jalen. You're cuter. Honestly, I think you might get more viewers if you did just chatting streams. I mean, yes and no. I mean, I'm going to do more of those. But the thing about just chatting is, I mean, I'm very good at it. I can just talk for a long period of time. But I also want to pull in some new viewers. And while I didn't really do that today, I don't think, I've done it before. I did it with the Illuminati stuff. I did it with, the Keffels and Xanderhall stuff. I got some new viewers on that. People being like, oh, look, here's another leftist streamer to watch. And I'm like, hell yeah. And, yeah, so next time I talk about drama, we're going to be talking about Keffels. And, yeah. Because, you know, there's some Xanderhall stuff. I'm sure it takes time to change voice pitch without it sounding forced. Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's not just changing pitch, it's changing resonance, weight, etc. But, for instance, right now, with like the whole spiel that I just did, I don't think it sounded forced. Did it sound forced? Maybe it did. Maybe I'm forcing it without even realizing it. I mean, that's entirely possible. Also, your parents being supportive makes it cool to train at home. Also, yeah, that is true. Yeah, it gives me the opportunity to, like, fuck around, find out. And here's the thing. Streaming is a great opportunity to fuck around and find out, because ultimately, I want a voice that's nice to listen to. You do a great job interacting with the stream chat. Why, thank you. I try my best. And that is one of my goals. My goal is to make it something that you can listen to as a podcast, or not even interact with if you don't want. Listen to it. Have fun. Or you can interact with it. Also have fun. That's sort of my goal. And I try. So, but here's the thing is, what really, truly is my personality in terms of how I express myself? What does that really mean? Am I just a reflection of what society has decided I should be? Well, no. I am far from it. Society doesn't decide that I'm trans, or that I have a weird sense of humor, or that I'm a streamer. But what society does decide is what my perception of, say, a woman is, or what my perception of what a woman should sound like is. Now, I've sort of gotten over that. If I hear a trans woman who hasn't done any voice training speak, I still see her as just as much of a woman, right? But that doesn't stop me from internalizing the way society perceives me. Even if I want society to see that I am this big bad contrarian, and I don't give a fuck as to what they say or how they view me. That is a part of how they view me, whether I like it or not. And in a sense, I will care to an extent. Everybody does, whether they like it or not. And, well, frankly, it's a weird world we live in. Anyways, that'll do it for today's stream, folks. I hope you all enjoy... See, I can't fucking speak. The performative femininity thing doesn't work. Your whole spiel can be summed up in 3 words. Quote, I'm a bottom... Shut the fuck up. I am not... I'm not. You're a bottom. Okay, but like... here's the thing. I don't even know what my... There's no such thing as a real voice. Any voice you do is a performative, and I didn't realize that until... well, until recently. But you should do ASMR videos talking about trans issues or something. Yeah, I could do that. Because, like, every time you speak to someone, you are being performative to an extent. You should change your channel name to Bottomyoz. That's not gonna fucking happen. Fuck you. I will never do that. The fact of the matter is, yeah, I don't know. There's like, okay, when it comes to me using a more feminine voice, there's a sort of hesitation to it. I hesitate to speak in certain ways because, oh no, I might sound manly, or oh no, I might say this in a way that gives away the fact that I'm trans, even though everybody already fucking knows. And when you hesitate to say things the way you want to say them, because you're scared it'll sound too masculine, well, you end up losing a little bit of yourself. You end up sounding fake, performative, and I don't know how I feel about that, because this is why